Welcome to DIYEasyCrafts.com. Today we're going to take a look at how to make a do-it-yourself burning bones Halloween decoration. Now there are several versions of this that you can find on the internet. Ours is a little bit different. We inserted our lights from the bottom through the foam for a better glow on the hot coals. We used actual charred wood in the design, and we made the plastic skull look a little bit more realistic. So the supplies that you're going to need are, any cheap plastic skeleton, some dark wood stain, some spray paint, orange and black, orange LED lights, and spray foam. Now we're going to start with the plastic skeleton. This was just a skeleton that I had, in the attic. I used some walnut wood stain and just coat as much of the skull that you can see, as much as possible. You don't have to wait for it to dry. Just wipe it off with a paper towel, and it gives a much more realistic look, so it doesn't look like a cheap plastic skull in your finished product. I put some parchment paper down on a flat surface, in this case a piece of plywood, and I'm going to use the spray foam to create the border or the outline of the fire. And then I'm going to lightly fill that in with the foam. Now others would actually put the lights on and then cover all the lights with foam, but I found out that you don't get as much of the glow through the foam doing it that way. While that foam is wet, I'm going to add a couple of pieces of charred wood that I dragged out of my fire pit. You don't have to do this. You could just use a couple of boards, a couple of sticks. Once that dries a little bit, not completely, about an hour or so, I turned it over. So this is the back side, the flat side, and I started to insert the LED lights. This is a strand of orange Halloween LED lights, and I'm sticking them right through. It doesn't matter if those lights are showing on the front or not. Just insert them all through the foam so you get as much of a glow as possible. Do it as even as possible. And you can see I'm avoiding the areas, the back of the two logs that I put in. Pat them all down nice and flat, and then I used additional foam to hold them all in place. So I'm going to cover the whole perimeter. I went a little bit overboard with the foam. You don't need that much. You don't need to cover the wires as long as they're being held in place. That's all that matters. And then once I finished coating those wires, I just flip the whole thing back over right down onto the parchment paper again. That will flatten out that foam. And now I can start working on the spray paint. I started with the orange or red. You don't want to paint real heavy. You almost want it to be a mist. You don't want the paint to block any of that illumination from the orange LED lights. Once I have a base of either red or orange paint down, I used a little foam on the back of each one of the bones, the skull and the arms and the hands and legs, etc., and just place them wherever you think they look good. The foam is going to act as a glue. It's going to set pretty quickly and hold everything in place. Once that's dry, you can lift it right off of the parchment paper. It separates pretty easily. And you're almost done at this point. I then just went back with some black paint, and I painted, again, very lightly. You don't want to really heavily coat this thing. Very lightly, a mist of black on any of the white foam that was exposed. So this is what you end up with. You end up with a realistic looking skeleton, so that this display actually looks good during the day. And when you turn on the lights, it looks awesome. It really looks like hot coals, burning bones, charred wood. Looks really great at night also. A very easy do-it-yourself Halloween decoration. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, I ask that you please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this YouTube channel. By all means, check us out on the web at DIYEasyCrafts.com. I've got a bunch of other holiday as well as Halloween do-it-yourself projects on there. Thank you very much for watching.